The one thing I've officially determined from this idea is that taking the time to do this was absolutely not worth it. It's not even that interesting of a question. Hello everyone. Today we've got a fun new idea to try. We're going to see if we can get any giant crops out of the mixed seeds. Now in one of my previous videos we did mega crops of all the mixed seeds for both spring and summer so far, and we did get cauliflower out of the spring seed, so those potentially could turn giant. Summer didn't produce us anything that could go big, but we haven't tried fall yet, so that's what we're going to do today just to see what we can get. We need pumpkins in order for this to work during fall, and I don't know if it's going to give us pumpkins, but we're going to try anyway. We're going to plant an entire crop of the mixed seeds for fall right now. But the first thing we need to do, of course, is move everything we can, and to move things, we're going to use bombs because that's the fastest way to do it. Nothing's going to be left here except probably the pigs. Everything else has got to go. I'm not going to bother removing the pigs or the barn because I just don't need to. Okay, it turns out there wasn't nearly as much stuff as I thought out there, so that's pretty good. Last thing we gotta do, remove this melon that's left over from summer because I want a giant crop, so we did melons. Alright, now luckily I have this handy dandy tractor mod which makes it this easy to plant the entire field. I've just plowed the entire field faster than Marnie plows through the town on a Friday night. Using these mixed seeds, I have 4,000 of them in my possession. This is actually going to be enough to do it. There's about 3,400 spaces in this farm layout. It is the biggest you can get normally. This should be more than enough seeds, so we're going to plant all these very quickly. Then we're going to make them all grow right away because today is the last day of fall. And already, I don't think any of these are pumpkin seeds. I might be wrong, but none of these stand out to me as pumpkin seeds. These all look like seeds that I don't recognize. They all do look different, so I should be able to tell if they are pumpkins, but I just don't think they are. Even if that's the case, I don't think I'm going to be able to turn any into giants because, well, today's the last day of fall, so they're not going to grow after today. Everything's got to happen within the next few hours. I've even frozen time to accommodate this. The other problem with this is you're going to have 9 growing all side by side because that's how many are needed to turn into a giant crop. And as you can see, the spacing is pretty random. Sometimes you get close to 9 spaces of the same seed here. So I don't know if there's any way to actually manipulate this or make it work differently, but that's what we're going to play with because I'm really curious to see if this is going to work. Normally you'd have to water these for as many days as it takes for the particular seeds to grow, which is anywhere from 4 till 13, I believe. But we're going to do it the quick way because I'm lazy and don't have time. Luckily for me, I'm a cheater, so I can just go like this, and there are pumpkin seeds. Interesting. Okay, we're onto something. I really like the fall colors. This crop actually looks really good. I don't know why, just the color palette is really pleasing. But you can see the problem now is that I did not get 9 pumpkins anywhere. They're all spaced out. Some places are pretty close. You do almost get 9 in a row. Like right here, you almost get 9. I don't know what those are, corns, but you don't. It's close. There's almost 9 pumpkins right there. You get 8. Over here, there's a nice cluster, but you just don't get 9 anywhere. So that would depend on luck entirely. Now, one thing you could obviously do, if you do this right from the beginning of the season, wait till everything's grown, the pumpkins are going to take the longest, and just replace the occasional crop. You could replace that eggplant, whatever that is, with 1 more pumpkin seed. Let it grow. It might turn into a giant by the end of the month. There's a very slim chance, given how long it takes pumpkins to grow. It would take basically the entire month to get that second round of pumpkins to grow, but that might work. Anyways, we're going to move it on into spring so I have more time to play because like I said, it's winter tomorrow. All these crops are going to die unless they're giant, and none of them are giant, nor are they going to be. But of course, before we do that, we've got to harvest this and see what it's worth. We found out already what the spring and summer crops are worth in their mixed seeds varieties. I can't harvest that one because the pig is on it. So time to find out the fall. I think fall is going to be the most valuable because the pumpkins alone are very valuable. I'm not sure about the other crops. The corn generally isn't very valuable at all, but the pumpkins certainly are. That was fast. Turns out we had artichokes and eggplants, corn, and pumpkins. And I've done all this by 9 a.m. That's how good I am. Right, well, everything in the bin, we're going to find out how much it's worth. There's a few leftovers like right here, but I'm not going to bother to move the pigs out of the way. It's not going to make a big enough difference on the price anyway. I think the summer crop, oh hi mums, was worth 250,000 and the spring was more like 750,000. Don't quote me on those are really rough numbers, but spring is worth the most so far. And this one is worth 660,000. There's a breakdown of the numbers should you be curious, but that's not really what we're here for now, is it? Well, here we are, all the way back into spring. That was a lot of fun. Now, same thing again, gonna bomb everything, clean up the field, and then replant. One idea I do have for this, because I know I'm gonna get a lot of cauliflower, and they do take 12 days to grow under normal conditions. So if you were to do this, you could grow the cauliflower in 12 days. Then, like I said, fill the rest of the gaps with new seeds that you would need to make a giant crop. And that would probably work that way because you would still have a few extra days to play with on account of them only taking 12 days to grow. So you could do 2 rounds of cauliflower with 4 days of playing with them. Because if you don't know, if you have 9 of the cauliflower and they aren't giant, continue to water them. They can still turn into giant crops as long as they're watered every day. Again, I'm not going to wait the 12 days for these to grow because I want a little extra time to play with. So I'm just going to start making these ready to go right now and hope that I do get 9 cauliflower all in a row. I'd say it is plausible at this point, but not probable, being what I saw from all the other crops. The pumpkins were close. I did get 8 in a tight little bunch, but that one extra one, that's all it takes to screw this whole thing up. But if I do that this time, I'm going to plant more mixed seeds and hopefully I can get the proper ones I need to grow where they need to grow. Of course, if you're doing this in real time without mods or anything, you're going to need to actually get this right the first try. Well, by that I mean planting the second time, because once they grow, if you don't get your 9 you need, you're going to have one more chance to do it. If that doesn't work, then too bad. Well, here you have it. The boring colored spring crops are done. I did not get any bunches of 9s. I think they're a little bit harder to see. The fall ones actually popped a lot more. They were much easier to see. But so far, I'm definitely not seeing any 9 cauliflower in a row. So what I'm going to have to do is harvest the crops next to the bunch and plant them again to see if it's going to work this time. I don't think they grow in any predetermined order or space. I would be really surprised if they did. This area right here is probably about the biggest grouping of them. So I might take all the non-cauliflower crops out of there, replace them with more mixed seeds and hope for the best. Actually, this right here was the closest. 8 spaces again. If it wasn't for that one potato right there, we might have had a giant. Also, I do realize that growing them this way, you can't get any giant if you insta-grow them. That just doesn't work that way. But I didn't get any 9s anyway, so wouldn't have mattered. But if you're doing this in the real game and happen to make it work, well, great. I think you might also have the best chance of doing this in spring because I think there's only 3 varieties of things that can grow from what I'm seeing. There's potatoes, there are the, whatever they're called, parsnips, and cauliflower. In fall, there was 4 different things that could grow. So if they're all spaced evenly, you definitely have a better chance in spring. So I'm going to have a better chance of accomplishing this. So I'm going to pick this one and replace it with just mixed seeds again and hope for the best. And then again, also right here where we had 7 out of the 9 needed. I could just do this with straight cauliflower, but that's just not as fun. Oh, and even shows you what the seeds look like when you lay them down. So I don't think that's a cauliflower. I think that's a parsnip. I think I recognize that seed. But we'll do one more here. Here we had 6 of the 9. So we'll plant 3 more. Whoops, and hope for the best. Okay, I kind of screwed that up, so we're going to replace that with a proper cauliflower because I can't click properly. And also that determines what it is. So cauliflower is the 2 little seeds because I replanted that one with the proper seed because I screwed it up. So it's easy to look around and know that we haven't got the proper ones laid back down again. I'm pretty sure those are going to be the parsnip seeds because those are what everyone plants right away. So if you know what they look like, do they change then? So if I was to destroy one of these, will it replant with the same thing? Or can you just keep laying down mixed seeds until you get the one you want? No, it changed again. So you could literally just go like this then and determine what it is. Okay, that's a single. That's a single. I need the double seed for this to work. So you actually know ahead of time what you're going to get, I think, as long as they do produce what they actually look like they're producing. So far, no cauliflower though, which is awfully curious. The odds right now should have been in my favor. That one planted a cauliflower again, most interestingly, so maybe these do have a set pattern. I am quite curious about that now. So if we remove this cauliflower, will it be a cauliflower? Nope, that's something different. Okay, well, that was just chance then, I'm assuming, for what just happened up here, because these... That one turned into a cauliflower. Most perplexing. Alright, well, it's still just luck. Obviously, none of those would have worked out had I done that the legitimate way. But obviously your chances of getting 9 cauliflower all bunched together are pretty low. Right here, there's actually 9 parsnips, which is really quite rare. Well, maybe not. There's another 9 here. The parsnips are obviously very common, so the seeds must be weighted here. Because there's lots of parsnips around. There's a few groups of 9, but not in the cauliflower. Okay, so using what we've determined so far, I'm going to harvest everything that's not a cauliflower and replant mixed seeds everywhere to see if this would work. Like I said, in spring, you'd have 2 chances to do this. The seeds would grow initially. Actually, you might have more chances than that because the other crops would grow quicker. The parsnips would only take 4 days. You could replace those with mixed seeds, plant them again. Whatever the case, we're going to just remove everything that is not a cauliflower and replant the seeds again. And I've just now realized how long this is actually going to take because I have to pick these one by one because I can't harvest any cauliflower. That defeats the purpose. And I did already accidentally misclick on that one and pick it, so I've replaced it already. But, yep, I'll see you guys in about 2 hours. At this point, I'd like to point out what a stupid idea this was. I had no idea it was going to take this long. Okay, I'm going to do something a little extreme here because this is taking so long. I'm going to try harvest with sickle And obviously only use it in spaces where there's no cauliflowers because I don't know how big a bite this thing takes. So, okay, we definitely harvested a cauliflower there. That didn't work, but it will work now that I know how big the space is. So if I go right here, I think it's a 3x2 space. Not really. It's almost more of a 9 space, but I'm just going to go around taking bites for now so I don't go crazy. And there's a cauliflower again. The one thing I've officially determined from this idea is that taking the time to do this was absolutely not worth it. It's not even that interesting of a question. Anyone who doesn't hit the like button for this stupid video, I really hate you. Guess who's finally done? I was really close to giving up about every 30 seconds through this entire process because look how many things I had to individually pick by hand. I also accidentally clicked about 40 cauliflowers, so I had to replant those. And I think I did a pretty good job of that. So this is actually what it looks like without the rest of the things in there, which looks kind of cool in itself. So this is how many cauliflower I had. And as you can tell, no giant ones. So now the next step. Jump back on my tractor, replant all the mixed seeds, and hopefully there's enough to fill the gaps to get me some giant ones. All right, well, here we go. And this is going to be the last thing I do because I really don't want to pick anything else because that was really, really stupid. Also, that took so long that I do need to get this video up before midnight. So yeah, I can't really get any more carried away with this. It's already a lot more involved than I wanted it to be. Now it's just a matter of pressing that magic O button again and again and hoping for the best. All right, well, I'll see you at the end. Job's done. Now, what do we have left to work with? There's definitely a lot more cauliflower, but it's still, they're not spaced out in the 9 I need them to be. It's just, the odds of them doing that are really hard to do. There's definitely a huge grouping of cauliflowers here, and there is actually a space of 9 right there. So, that confirms it. This definitely is plausible. I knew it always was, but I just wanted to see it for myself. There was always a big grouping of cauliflower here. I'm not sure why they like that area so much. That's probably just luck. But there you go. If I water that for enough, it would turn into a giant one. Anything else out here? Want to play that game? More cauliflower, more cauliflower. There's lots of cauliflower. The numbers definitely did improve by doing this a second time. But there's probably still only going to be the chance for one giant crop. And even then, other things could happen. It could get struck by lightning, a crow could eat it. There's still no guarantee. But let's just water everything for a few days and take a look back, see what we've got. 10 days later, perfectly, it's raining. Now did that one turn into a giant crop? It did not. Wonder what the odds of it actually doing it are. Some crows definitely been in here eating some stuff. I don't really care about them at all because they're not really a big factor unless they happen to eat one of my special cauliflower. So, you know what? Let's give it till the end of the month. We've already gone this far with this stupid idea. Might as well take it a little further. Go to bed. Well, now things are looking up. We're going to have another kid because 2 months means 2 kids. The 28th day of spring of the worst season of my life. Do we have a giant crop? We do not. Well, it was watered every day. I gave it every possible chance to do its thing. It didn't work. This idea is still completely plausible. You could definitely do it first try. It's just a matter of luck. I just wanted to see how far I could take it. Got a meteorite. This video probably a little all over the place because I'm still not feeling 100%. So this was an idea that had a cool intention behind it, but I feel like I just went all over the map with it because my brain doesn't work yet. Anyways, I really hate this video and idea. Goodbye.